Hello, welcome to episode 2 of the Footium Strategy Show. Myself, of course, Harry Trades, and with me as always, the man, the myth, the legend, Sean Newsom, aka Psufans2. Are you alive?
I am. Hello. Sorry, I was
How we
I was
doing,
doing
man?
something. It was like I was like disconnected from something, so I was trying to get back into it so that I was prepared for the games. As you know, I have two games here during this window, so I'm
Yep,
making sure I'm all set for those. And I clicked the wrong thing, unfortunately, so I had X'd out of them.
that's okay. We're going to watch. We've got a couple of games that Sean's got ongoing now in D5 to kick us off. Whilst that's going on, we're just going to be talking about. I asked Sean the question yesterday, about what we should talk about today, and the main things that I want to get through from a selfish perspective, because I'm still relatively new, is basically how people try and price players on Footium. If there's a comparison, like if I've got a little example here, but if the players basically got the same amount of max potential, but different ages, maybe different ratings for now, how do you sort of compare and go, okay, which one actually makes more sense for me sort of today or whatever in the now. So we'll get through that whilst watching Sean slay his, who's he playing? Poltby Shut?
This is a ghost game.
Oh, okay.
I have two games right now. This is a ghost game, and then my other one with Kuthwar Rovers is not a ghost game. But I, knock on wood, hope to win both. I think my team is better by quite a bit in the non-ghost game, and then obviously in the ghost
Yeah.
game. But I sadly I really need it with the team that's playing the ghost, because I have had a couple shocking results the last couple days, sadly. So it's put me behind the eight ball a little bit here. Um, and yeah, so we're gonna need to beat the ghost, preferably with getting some goal differential, just to help things out. You know what I mean?
Did you rotate at all? I guess you did.
Yeah, so this season's been really difficult. I know we sort of talked about it from a strategical standpoint, is like
Mm-hmm.
I'm way behind training wise right now because of last season and me being out of town. So I have had to sort of like cut corners that I probably would rather not cut if it was possible,
Mm-hmm.
and not really have guys as fresh. But like the nice thing is typically like I will look through my upcoming schedule and I will find windows where it's like, okay, this is when I can train a lot, or like this is when I can rest, get my squad back into better fitness, stuff like that. And for Kuthwar, this is a good time to do that, or not. This is not a good time to do that. I have a difficult game today versus a team that is at least decent, and then tomorrow I actually play the top team, and then for the stand and team, they are who is playing a ghost team, and I'm trying to rotate and sort of build up some fitness back. But like I have enough depth on the team that it's still a reasonable team regardless, not even to mention that it's against a ghost. But I have rotated that team entirely except for like one player.
For the Kuthwar Rovers.
No, Kuthwar is pretty much my full lineup with a couple
Okay.
exceptions. I have mostly my main lineup. I have a backup right back in, backup left back in, a backup center back, because I kind of need both my center backs weren't fully fit. So I played Pole, as you can see,
Yeah.
but he's not full fitness. And I have on the bench, I have Silva, I believe, in this team.
Yeah.
I believe. No, Jurich. So I have
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
have Jurich. So kind of my plan is that I'm gonna thread the needle here and try to get a half from each, or maybe like I'll get like 60 minutes. What I'll probably do is I'll get 60 minutes from Pole, and then I'll get like 30 from Jurich. But what I'll probably do is, like, if I think I need a booster, I'll put Jurich in over Perrier, who's sort
Yeah.
of like my third string center back.
Got you.
And also I have Miranda on the bench, because what I try to do before the season or before each game is I'll look at stuff, see if I have options. So I have Jurich if I feel like I need a little bit more help on the back, or if I can't really like bench players. And then I have
Mhm.
Miranda where it's like, okay, I think I'm up 2 or 3 goals. I think I can save some fitness from these other guys for the last 30 minutes.
So you're more interested in subbing out or in defenders for this game rather than attackers, or could be attackers, but not.
Yeah, it sort of is just going to depend where we're going. So I have on the bench, I have a right back, two center backs, a DM, a CM. So the DM, the CM is a good example. I can sub them in over Rogers if I just want to get a fresh body that's comparable, or if I end up in the game, I can sub out Marie or Ferreira and save the fitness a little bit.
Because Marie started on a bit low of a fitness, right? For a starting player,
yeah, and because of what I said is like I'm sort of trying to get my fitness up a little bit from some guys. Like this is like a half rotated team, and then the other half that isn't starting here is guys like Juric, and there's other guys I have that are like I have a better right winger who's not starting this game, but I'm trying to sort of get a win while half rotating and then be able to run them in the next game. I can run the other half in and sort of like get like 75% of my team in each game and hope it's enough to get wins in both of them.
Yeah, that's the big thing, isn't it? You've always got to look ahead to the next fixture, because if it's an easier game on paper, then of course the fixture you're looking upon right now is the one where you just have to go stronger, right? Like that's just the opportunity to get the 3 points, because the easier game on paper, you've got to not expect the 3 points, but more so than the game you're playing, in the now at least anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like what I'll try to do is like I will try to like maybe it'll be a game where I'm like, okay, I think I can maybe get my fitness up or I can get what I want out of it. And then I'm like, oh, I really probably can't. And I'll try then to put the guys on, but I'll try to like save 30 minutes here, save 30 minutes there to try to get additional fitness in, to get additional training in. So like, yeah, like you can see like Marie, Pole, Juric, like these are guys I'm trying to train through the season that maybe I wouldn't have to as hard if I was in a better position from last season. But because I was out of town, it sort of put me behind the 8 ball where like these guys have 3, 4, 5 available potential that I haven't been able to use. So like the only way you can really get it in is if you blow someone out, or if you're way ahead at the end of the season, or if you utilize it during the season and maybe spread things a little thinner than you want to.
Yeah, that's for me, that's the toughest thing is finding the time to train your better guys. Like it's so hard. Like especially like I've only got let's say 3 or 4 top guys compared to the ratings of the rest of them, but like I need them to play. So how do they get better?
Yep, exactly. I'm gonna watch the other game that I have on. Well, this is on your monitor, so I can watch both of them. So if you see me looking between the two, I have one game up on each monitor. But the other game against a Ghost, I was able to pick up 2 goals, so I'm up 2-0 in that one. Nice. So that's a much better option.
Can you tell like what this other guy's doing by his sort of team stats at this point, or is it too hard to like? Could you tell that one some are in attacking right now, for example, mentality wise, or is that not something that's like obvious necessarily?
It's not as obvious, at least to me. I don't pay as much attention to that stuff as some may do. What I try to do though is I try to look at the formations. I typically find the issue is for me, it's something I've sort of gone back and forth in. Certain formations seem to perform better against others. Like a 5-back typically performs better defensively against a 4-back, but I'm pretty restricted right now with my ability to run different formations. I only have one formation that I primarily run. Granted, I can run a 4-3-3, a 4-3-3-H, a 4-3-3-D, but I don't really have the player base to move from that really out to like a 5-3-2 or something. What's your main formation that you run currently?
So I'm similar to you. I'm in a 4-3-3-F9 if I like have all my best guys fit. But today, for example, because a couple I had to rest like my AM and my DM, I went with a 5-3-2-A. So I used a center forward where I don't normally use.
Gotcha.
And yeah, and I actually looked back at the game log, and he used 5-2-3, no A, just normal. So I don't know whether that's his normal formation. I didn't really look, but he was top of the league. He hadn't lost a game, and yeah, I managed to score 5 on him without making any subs. So that was fun. I was watching it on my phone, but I don't have MetaMask on there, so I couldn't like log in or anything.
Hey,
So I
yeah,
was like walking home. I was like 3-1 up. I was like 3-2, and then it somehow went 5-2. But yeah, I changed between that 4-3-3 F9, sorry, and then five. I'll go five at the back because I do have a left wing back and a right wing back that aren't like crazy lower. Well, actually, the left wing back is better rated than my left back, but that's just something that I use now and again if I need, like I said, the DM and the AM to rest. But yeah, I do enjoy mixing it up sometimes. But first season, I was like really religiously looking at like, what's the opposition's formation? Like, can I exploit that? And I had a ton of players. I had like 40 players, so I could basically kind of have a full fit 11 every game. Yeah, the ratings might change a little bit, as far as like the average, but I could afford to be fit every game. Whereas now I'm on like a 30-man team. And it's just more restrictive, right? Like if I'm trying to train guys as well, that's becoming the big issue for me. But that's where the second club comes in though. So that's where I've like the guy I brought off you, he's in training, that Vieira guy, the academy. So I'm just trying to rinse the training out of those as best as I can. And then like he's a 43 midfielder now, which on paper he's better than my sub midfielders in my best team. So like the next transfer window, I'm probably going to bring him up. So he's getting like game time in my best team because he's higher rated now, or will be.
Yeah, like if you look at this game, like just between the two teams, like so my team is outpossessing him, or not outpossessing him, but has more shots. Seems like they're slightly better. If we've watched, like it seems like my guys are in better position. And if you look at the game, go back to the game, and we'll look like. So I think overall, if you look through my team versus his, my team is better fitness wise right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And it is a better overall, like pretty much better at every spot, slightly, not all, but like I would say like I definitely would expect to come away with the win. But what I've realized is like typically like a back three, back five, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to break down. But I will try to go for a win. So like I will try probably to move to a 4-3-3 H, which gives me an additional center mid instead of an additional defensive mid. But I probably will give it a little bit more time in this game. So like I'll make halftime adjustments occasionally. Like if I'm down, I'll probably do halftime adjustments, but I'm not down, so I probably won't. So like what I'll probably do here is I am willing to put Juric on. I'd rather put him on for pull to sort of save some energy. But if this is still tied in like the 60th minute, I will probably put on Juric. I don't have the best offensive subs for this game because I was kind of this is sort of my rotational game where like all the front three are all my backups. And if you look at my actual roster for this game, like just my general roster, my guys are pretty tired and they really need a break. But yeah, if you sort this and then you sort it by position, we'll sort of see like I have some guys that probably need a bit of a break here, so I'm trying to get them one. So like I could have had Russo on the bench, but I'm trying to give him a full game off. I could have had Hernandez on the bench. Again, I'm trying to have him get a full game off. I don't have great options at left wing outside of Yao. And again, trying to get him a full game off because he's realistically like 2 days from full fitness. So if I can get him a full day here, then I can sort of run him and Koulibaly tomorrow for like a half each and get them back up fitness-wise.
Yeah, that's clever. What was I going to say? I'm surprised some of these players are on like 65, 62.
Yeah, fitness-wise, yeah.
That's low.
I've been trying to you're talking about his team. Yeah, his team.
Yeah.
I would really expect myself to win this game, and I expect to pull away a bit in the second half. But
I don't think I've played against anyone with like at halftime guys at 60. Genuinely, like
if they're not ghost teams, like some people will do this, and it will be. I've done it. It sort of depends like how hard you're trying to thread needles on training versus who you're playing.
Interesting. You don't think it like jeopardizes you like a ton?
It definitely does. I mean, there's definitely like pros and cons. Like I have probably this team that you're watching right now is on 11 or is on 10 points. And I probably cost myself 2 points by training. Yeah, so like I ran like a primarily backup team against a team that isn't that good, and my team was still way better, but I ended up drawing a game 1-1. So I
Yeah.
dropped 2 points probably by training heavier so far, but like it's one of those things you got to thread the needle over the course of the season. Like I'm fine dropping 10 points on the season if it means I still finish in the same position I would have otherwise and got my training in.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the compromise, isn't it? It's the training over the extra points that you might not even need technically, but you don't know, do you? Like,
Correct. Like
yeah.
perfect scenario at the end of the season, I win on goal differential the league and got an extra 20 training sessions in because I pushed the limits on it. Then win the league and didn't have by like 15 points and didn't have those 20 training sessions in.
Right.
But there's also like if you can win the league by like 15 points and you were able to like just have all of those training sessions available at the end of the season, you can just plow training sessions in at the end of the season too. But obviously it's a bit more easily done if you can just sort of run training sessions throughout the year. But yeah, luckily the other team, so the stand and team, the other team that you had up earlier that is against a ghost, luckily
Yeah.
that team had that team luckily is probably going to pick up the win here. It's up 3-0, and I don't have to worry about anything. Like as you'll see here, like if you go to my players, I rotated the whole team. Like I don't think any of my main guys are in that game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But like so that schedule, I actually go ghost, then into like 2 of the worst teams in the league.
Oh,
So
nice.
as you can see here, if you sort it, like you see a lot of my good players are in that like 70-60 range, and that's because I'm training them because I don't anticipate needing them for like 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Just run them into the ground training wise as much as you
So
can.
like last night I trained Vinkovic, Garcia, Gabad, Silva, Chang. I'm training Fournier right now. So like I trained all of these guys over the last night with the anticipation that I won't really need them right now because I'm up against a ghost.
Yeah, that's the smart way to do it for sure.
So I probably am going to give this a couple more minutes. And so another thing is like, have you ever noticed that sometimes you try to make a sub and it takes so long to get on the field?
Oh, the pending thing. Yeah, it takes a while, doesn't it?
Because the ball just doesn't go out. But we're probably like, I think I'm going to make the sub and I'm going to bring in Juric, which does help. And I'm going to take out, because we're not in a position where I'm comfortably going to win, I'm going to bring in Juric and I'm going to take out Perrier just because I want to get a better rating on the field.
Yeah.
And that's a big improvement. He's really like, again, I'm trying to thread the needle here and get training in and make subs. This is nowhere near the best lineup I can run. So if I can pull out a 1-0 win here, that is a favorable outcome for me.
For sure.
I don't really want to move to attacking, but I'm open to it because if you move to attacking, you will lose a lot more stamina on the offensive guys. But most of these guys are my backups, so I'm more open to it. So I will probably give it to like the 70th minute, and then I will switch to an attacking set. And I will probably take off the 1 DM and put on a CM for him, is what I'm thinking I'm going to likely do here.
So turn back to 4-3-3, just normal.
I'll turn back from a 4-3-3-D to 4-3-3-H, and I will probably turn it on to attacking, but I would like to wait until last 20 minutes or so to do that. And normally I have like 3 or 4 subs ready. This time I really just didn't have I'm really trying to thread the needle here. Like my team is not great here. It's a pretty comparable team to him, despite like my overall team guys that are like on my bench or in my my training that are better than who's in the lineup. But again, I'm really trying to thread needles here. I'm trying to have guys ready for the next game, trying to train them. So it's a bit tricky, and I'm trying to just thread needles and hopefully get enough out of it.
Do you think Footium will ever go to 5 subs?
I don't think so. I feel like if they were going to do that, they would already do that. It is an interesting thing because obviously a majority of the world does 5 at this point, but I would think no.
Because I think that would open up, well, maybe not even 5. Let's just call it maybe 4. I don't know. I just think, could that open up a lot more like it would alleviate a lot of fitness worries, wouldn't it? It would go from like, I mean, like it would improve by like 20%ish, 25%, right? Because you can get one more guy in on the field, off the field.
Yeah, it would basically just give you an additional option set. So like that's obviously a big plus.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, I am just making a couple small adjustments on my my other team. Nothing that is
You still 3-0 up on there?
I'm 4-0 up now, so
No.
like nothing really is impactful. But I am just trying to. What I do find is like ghost games, especially when you're up 4-0 and you're playing like your main backups, or not even your main backups, like your third string guys. You can sort of just crank up the attack. You could just like go attacking or ultra attacking, especially towards the end of the game, and just try to get a win or like try to put up like a bunch of goals instead. So I am going to switch and I'm going to put myself in attacking. I'm going to take out one of my DMs, the worst DM, and I am going to change that score.
Scored. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm not going to do that.
68th minute, Bamba Koulibaly.
There we go. So he's probably one of my better players that is in this game. So now I'm going to leave on the two better center backs. If I do get up 2-0, I will likely make another sub and take off one of the good center backs for the lower level center back. But for now, I'm going to stay. And I do have a DM I could sub in for Marie or Rogers, but I actually think they are quite a bit worse. So right now, I'm going to leave it how I have it currently.
What do you think ranks higher, like in the engine? Like, let's, for example, your Marie's 59 rated 72. Say if you brought on, you know, let's just call it a 50 rated 100%. Like, what do you think actually, like, is that better or is that the same? Is that worse? Like, what do you think?
So what I have found personally is that the answer is that the engine works better with the higher rated players. Now, whether or not that is true, I don't know. And there's also, I'm sure, like some sort of middle ground on it where like some players are going to be impacted more. But like, so if Marie was at like 40 fitness,
yeah,
I don't think it would be as good. But because he's at 72, it's not that bad. And especially when you look at the other, like his team, his guys are in worse fitness than that for the most part, or like quite a few of them. So I think for the sake of that, I would prefer to keep on my better player than to do that. But what I will do is I have a equivalent right back. So I am going to bring on my equivalent right back just to get myself some a little bit better stamina currently and energy.
Andy Mack says there was a community vote on the subs and everyone voted for 3. Or most people did.
You know what? I'm fine with 3. I think 3 is reasonable. I think when you start getting up to 5 or 4 or 5, it's probably too many. So I tend to agree with what Andy's opinion is here.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I don't know how I got. Maybe it was just like I was just looking at some sort of written beginner's guide that maybe Footium had made, and it might have been a bit outdated. But there was a thing that said like you can obviously train a player in 2 different positions, or even 3 technically.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But do people do that anymore?
So to me, the way that the system works, I kind of wish that it was like I wish that you could train a guy and like it also trained his secondary positions, but maybe not as much. So like the issue is, right, is like if you train a dude at like 3 positions, he just sucks at all of them in comparison to like what he could be.
Yeah.
So like what I felt, oh, that's not a good. Okay, we got a big save there. That you don't like seeing people in that range. That's kind of the range where people are going to score. So I think that I'm going to actually change to a defensive set real quick.
Just in case, yeah.
Just to help out a little bit. Actually, I can't do anything yet because I still haven't made that sub I made like 10 minutes ago.
Wow.
So that's obviously a negative when you can't really do that because of it just takes so long to get guys in. I wish you could make an addition. Okay, that's a good spot.
Come on.
That's a good spot.
Come on, Bamba.
Close. I wish we could like adjust. Like I would love to adjust my sub that I'm thinking. Like because I want to just change my tactics, but I can't because it's locked in with the sub pending. But what's funny here is actually Thingfort. If you see down the bottom left, they're in 8th. I think they're probably the 2nd best team in the league. The team that's first, I think, is like 7th or 8th best team.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just
Yes.
kind of weird starts to start the season.
Yeah, I really didn't expect to win my game today, genuinely. Like, looking at his ratings and stuff, and they were all pretty fit. Like, I didn't think I'd stand a chance. But I don't know. Yeah, sometimes the engine gods are in your favor, I guess. And
So I'm pretty sure, by the way, I made that right back sub at like the 70-minute mark, and it still hasn't
wow,
gone in.
84th. That's insane.
So I'm just sitting here. I can't change to a defensive set.
So your Marie's at 69 now, but his lowest is like 53.
Yeah, that's like if I'm leaving Marie in just because he's comparable to everyone else, but he's just like he's the best player in the field, I think, in this game.
Got you. Okay.
So like I'm just gonna leave him in because he's not really lower fitness than all these other guys.
Mm-hmm.
But
Are these two
right,
teams? Go on. Oh no.
Nope.
Are you?
Right. Let's get a couple clearances in here. Get the ball away from our box. So I'm going to change it to defensive set, but the issue is like it's not going to go in. Like it's probably not going to take.
You can only really train rares in more than one position. Then they become 2x top tier silvers rather than one rare. I don't think anyone multi-trains.
Yeah, I don't think anyone multi-trains. I don't know anyone that actually multi-trains, even with rares. I do understand what you're saying. I don't think anyone multi-trains as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious if anyone did. All right, can we get a shot off here?
Come on. We're in the box for a while. Come on. Oh. I thought it glitched into a goal.
Yeah, the glitch, there's always a goal glitch. Like if your guy takes a shot and it glitches, you're like, goal.
Yeah, it always happens.
Not every time though, but it's pretty consistent that if it glitches.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's hold here. Because this is a big hold, right? Because like I said, I'm heavily rotating my team for training purposes and fitness purposes. So like getting a win here 1-0 is exactly what is what I want to get.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a goal here to cap it off. Oh no. Full time. There we go. Yes. There we go, Harry.
That's big.
We got the win. We got the win 1-0. We won against the Ghost 4-0.
Okay. No goals conceded.
No goals conceded. That's exactly what we want to get. I would have liked to have been up more comfortably so that I could make a few more subs to make it a little bit better for. Hey, there we go. We've moved up to first.
Top the league. Nice.
Now his game's still pending. He's still in the game. He did win. He won 3-2, but that's fine. I see tomorrow 1 versus 2. 1 versus 2 tomorrow.
You play them tomorrow.
I play them tomorrow, but like go look at their team. Like their team is significantly worse than mine. I don't know how they're 5-0.
Let's have a look.
I'm honestly surprised. Like not that it's a bad team, but like it's significantly worse.
It's just than average. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's significantly worse than some of the other teams too.
Huh. Crumble Rovers.
So he must be doing something right. He must be setting good tactics. Must be making moves.
I mean, it's got a couple of rares. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I didn't say it's bad. I said like if you go to Fingfort or whatever the name of that other team was. Like I'm pretty sure that team is just a much better team than this one. And then my team's way better than this one as a whole. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go to Fingfort. Like this is the team that I think is probably the second best team in the league, I think.
Interesting. Oh yeah, wow. By a mile, no?
Right?
Yeah, what?
Like if you're looking at the teams, like this one's pretty clearly better than the other one, but the other one's up by 6 points on that one. Now it could obviously like a lot of it depends on like your schedule. So my D2 team, I think my D2 team is somewhere between like 5th and 7th in the D2 league, and I am taking it seriously this season.
Yeah.
I started off against the 4 best teams in the league.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yeah, that's not the best start. But then now I literally play a Ghost, then play another good team that I really need to beat. So I'm resting for that game. Then I play a not good team, but not a Ghost. And then I play another Ghost. So like the schedule matters. And then I lost 2 games on the last kick of the game in that league.
Oh my God.
Sadly.
This guy's got a really young team, by the way.
He does. But yeah, then go to my team. And my team's probably pretty equivalent, I would say, to this team.
Let's have a look.
Like I would say it's not tons different, but like so that's the game that I'm like, oh, when I play Fingfort, it's a must win. Like that's the team that I'm thinking is like the challenge.
Up there. Yeah, I'm sure he'll come through.
So like his team's arguably even better than mine. But I probably have a bit more like
middle ground here.
Ground. So like it evens out a little bit, but like his team is arguably better than mine. So like that's a key game when I play him. But like, yeah, sort of like as you can see here, like a lot of my top guys were rested. But like as you see, like Jose Hernandez, he's gonna play next game because he's gonna be rested. So for example, like I wanted to get a win, so I felt I had to play at least one of Jurich or Pohl here. I didn't think I could bench both, but so I only started one so that I can at least play one in the next game. And then like Russo's going to be ready for the next game. Gutierrez is ready for the next game. Yao's getting closer. Ferreira's going to be a little bit more tired, but like I have Gondo who's going to be back. So like I'm going to have to do the same thing I just did in this game in the next one as well. Just with guys
ready for the game after that.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get on to our conundrum then.
Yes.
Of what is the better? I mean, they're both the same player technically, right? At the end of the day, they both have a max rating of, I had to Photoshop this because this was 19, so it wasn't a direct comparison. So I changed it to 18 purely because, they're both 68 rated. One's 21, 62 rated right now. One's 17, 54 rated right now. Now, what are we saying about price? Like, obviously, they'd be different prices right now today, wouldn't they?
Well, so honestly, like I think Evans would be more expensive right now if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Which is something that I've struggled with myself in sort of like trying to decide like what is more valuable. And I think that the true answer is that it is dependent, and it depends on your team at the given time, and then also like your team going into the future with it as well. Because to me, so Kevin Evans is probably a D3/D4 player right now.
Okay, got you.
Would be my guess. Like you just saw a D5, and he would probably be one of the best players on my D5.
He'd start for sure. Yeah.
But my D5 is like really a good D5 team, and I think if it was a D4, like I think could you go to my D4, that Neuro team, and see? Because I think he's probably pretty comparable players on that team as well, and this team is probably one of the best teams in the league. So he's probably like a slightly lower end starter here, but so I would say that this is a good D4 team. This is probably the best team in the league. So I would say that he's probably like a low D3, high D4 player. And then you look at Kone right now, and Kone is probably a low D5, D6 player.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
But yeah,
you just think he's like an outright D5.
So I don't know if this is the way to look at it, but let's just call it in 4 years. Where is 4 seasons when Kone's 21? Where would you predict his rating to be? Let's just call it you're not like uber training him. He's just he's just a normal player. Let's just call it.
So I think in 4 years, Evans will be maxed out. So he'll be a 67, 25-year-old.
Okay.
And I would say Kone would be like a 60, 61 rated 21-year-old.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think the way that I look at it is basically, if you look at Evans, so he's 21 now. So he has 11 seasons left?
Right.
And Kone has 14 or 15. So he's
10,
11. Yeah. So I would say that for the next 7 seasons, Evans is a better player.
Right.
Obviously, it becomes less towards the end, but what I will say is there's a benefit to not having to train a guy, right? Because if I'm not training him, it means I am not having to thread needles with his fitness, and it opens up trainings for other guys.
Right.
So there are benefits to like, hey, you're maxed out. Now, the negative for that is that Kone continuously gets better, whereas Evans stays the same eventually, and then Kone obviously will get there. So I would say for the next 5 years, Evans is a better player. Then for 3 years, they're equal. And then for the back 3 years or 4 years of Kone's career, Evans doesn't even exist.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Then my thinking then is where are you then in those seasons? As in where's your club, right? Because you might outgrow Evans in a couple of years. Like, if you're in
Correct.
D1, D2, is he good enough? Well, probably not. So
No.
he is effectively useless to your to that team, let's call it. If you've got feeder
Correct.
teams, maybe he moves down. But at that point, then he's like, okay, he's still got he's got age on his side to a degree. If he's, let's call it 25 and 60, what do we say, 68 rated or whatever, 67. But at the same time, he can't grow anymore. So like the point of the feeder clubs is really to grow players.
Correct.
Like he's a sell then, really, isn't he? If you've outgrown his like where he fits in a division, speaking about Evans, then he's kind of useless at that point for you, no?
Well, yeah, I think it's also too like it's one of those things. It depends where you're at currently. Like if I'm trying to play D3, I can't play D3 with Kone right now.
Fine.
I can play D3 with Evans right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like, is my club in D3? If it is, I probably don't want Kone and I probably want Evans. Now, granted, you might want someone better than Evans, but like of the two, like I want Evans. Yeah. And on the flip side, let's say I'm in D6. Do I really want Evans because he's probably too good in D6 that I probably don't really want him there? Mm-hmm. But if I have Kone, he's probably good enough there and I can develop him. So like it's a really fine line. And that's why, like, for me, if I look at these two guys, it's like, which one is worth more? And then also, like, similarly, like, when does Evans not become worth more than Kone? When is the age in which, like, let's say they each gain 2 to 3 a year.
Okay. Yeah.
At what age would you rather have like Kone?
So Kone would be, if he's 54 now.
Let's just say 2. So like they gain 2 a year.
Okay. So in 3 years, he'd be a 60 rated 20-year-old, yeah?
Yep.
And Evans would be he'd be a maxed out 24-year-old.
Correct.
So it's a 61 versus a 67. Yep. Obviously the ages are still four between, but I think I'm picking this. I think I'm picking the 6. Again, it depends where you are, but
yes.
And one thing we're missing out here, the price. Like, what would you expect these guys' prices to be today? Like this, let's call it like a ratio rather than like an actual number for each one. Is Kone 5 times cheaper than Evans? Is he 6?
See, that's to me, that's where I'm struggling, right? Because like if you're telling me Kone is even double, like let's say Kone is double cheaper than Evans,
right?
I would rather have Kone. But again, it depends where you're at. Because if I'm in D3, I can't use Kone in D3 really at all. Whereas Evans, I can. So it's like a really tricky line, I think. Of like
this is a good thing for me though, in the like where I'm in D6, right? Because this is the whole. Do I buy the 62-year-old, 21-year-old now because? Well, those 8 ratings difference is going to help me get promoted on paper, right? Compared to a Kone. But then you go, well, longevity-wise, obviously Kone has 4 more years. So it's like, are you happy to play the long game, or do you want that instant ability to push for promotion or whatever that looks like? That's again the other thing that comes into, isn't it? It's like Kone Evans is going to help me get promoted into D5 quite comfortably, whereas. Kone, I mean, he's not going to deter me from getting promoted, but he's not exactly going to be a differential, is he, at that 54 rated? So,
correct. Yeah, that's like in D5, right? For example, like I think he would be like, Kone would be like a mid-level starter in D5. Evans would be like one of the best players on a team in D5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one of those things. Like, but then again, like let's say you all of a sudden get 2 promotions, you're up in D3. Well, all of a sudden, Evans is like a not great player. Like he kind of outgrows the D5. And another thing too is what I've seen from a lot of people. I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's worked. And honestly, I checked it out. It makes a lot of sense. People are minting 16-year-olds in like D4, D5, and they are training the living shit out of them. And then these guys are becoming like I bought one, I think, but like at like 20 to 22, all of a sudden they're like maxed out 68s or something.
Wow. Okay.
And it's like, okay, like for me, like that's a great backup to have, right? Because then it's like I don't really have to train him, and he's good enough to at least play at the level. Right. So he's a reasonable card. And it becomes like people are minting guys at all levels. Like even saw it like lower levels. Like people are minting their D7 Academy prospects, training the shit out of them, and selling them for 4x what they paid. This is go to yours and like go look at like some of your young players.
I haven't even so this is my D6 6.
Yeah, so like for example, what someone will do is someone will mint Esposito and
Right.
train the shit out of him. Like literally play the shit out of him, train the shit out of him, get max out of it, not really care about the results as much. And then by the time he is 19, this dude is a 44 overall 19-year-old, which is
19-year-old.
way above the level that this is currently at, right?
Got you.
Same thing with Dasso. Dasso, someone trains the shit out of Dasso. All of a sudden, Dasso's 19 and is a 45 overall with 10 remaining XP to go. Well, a 45 is basically a D3 mint or a D4 mint. So like, I'm not saying that this guy's a smash. Let me go to my D4 real quick.
Right. But you're saying like he almost catches up with like the higher end division mint at 18 or 19.
So, yeah, here's an example. So like right now in my what division are you in? 8?
This is Division 6.
Division 6. So I'm in Division 4. I'm looking at my Division 4 club. I right now have a center forward that starts as a 41, and he is 17 years old, and his max out is a 59. This guy is a 16-year-old, maxes out at a 55, but this guy costs a third of what my guy costs, or like 40%.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, like, let's say you train the living shit out of this dude for 2 seasons, and because if you train the shit out of him and like play the shit out of him after 2 seasons, you can have this guy into the 40s probably. Yeah. And all of a sudden, this guy's an 18-year-old, 43-year-old. Like, he's effectively a D3 mint, a D4 mint type of player. Like lower end, obviously, but like if it's a position that is a valuable position, like I know fullbacks are really difficult, center forwards are typically difficult to come by. Like even pretend you run 3 seasons of Dasso, you get him to 19-year-old 45 overall.
Yeah.
Some people are going to be excited about that because like now maybe you're not going to get like a 0.1 ETH, but like if you turn this guy after 3 seasons from 0.013 ETH to 0.25 ETH, that's great business.
Yeah. That's and but like that's only really available with these 16-year-olds basically, right? Kind of.
It's definitely a lot harder when they're 18, 19-year-olds.
Got you.
Like you can still do it, but like let's say Conrad Winter all of a sudden after 3 years, he's a 41-year-old or he's a 41, 21-year-old with not tons of XP left. Like, okay, that's not super appealing. You might not get tons more than what he's worth. But at that time, like, can you go sell him to someone at this level for 0.015? Maybe.
Potentially.
Maybe.
I was just going to check my D7 academy, see if there's any 16. Oh, there's loads of 16-year-olds. Well.
Yeah. And it works very similar. Like, yeah, that guy's a CM, which we know CM is a very, very important position. You train him for 3 seasons, all of a sudden he's like a 42 CM with 10 potential left, and he's like 19. You probably can get like 0.02 ETH. All of a sudden, you just 4 extra investment on him. So I think that's what a lot of people are doing. And I've seen it with buys. If you look at OpenSea, a lot of the time on OpenSea, there's guys that are like very similar. Like, yeah, let's go see what like a guy like that sold for.
This guy?
Yeah, use that guy. Use this guy. Use the right back.
The right back. I bought both of them.
Okay, so like let's see what the mint was, because all you can do is scroll down. This guy's a great example. Someone literally did what we just talked about. This.
Yeah, 0.03 5 months ago.
So he 5x'd his value in 5 months.
Right, and he's 21. So that could have been a 16-year-old probably, right?
Definitely a 16-year-old. So over 5 seasons, he used him, got him up to a 44 overall, position of value, still has a bit of potential left, and you paid 5x what he paid for him to mint him.
Right. So he would have been roughly a 31, let's call it.
He would have been a 31 overall 16-year-old D8 mint. D7 mint. So yeah, so like people are doing that. I think it's a really valuable thing to do. We're gonna shut this stream down today, and Harry's gonna buy all these dudes.
Well, yeah, I need to buy all my academy guys.
I think it depends on position. Like I think what you do is that CM, the goalie, the center back you probably want to do, and then the others you don't want to do. Because even like yes, the goalie's 18, but the goalie's starting at 35 compared to 27.
Okay.
So effectively, like you just look at like he already had his training in for 2 seasons.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. So you would do the center back, center mid, goalie?
Yeah, probably. If I was you, I would mint those. And then maybe in 2 seasons or 3 seasons, you can sell them for 0.015.
Right. And what about any from my Doso?
CM again, CF, maybe goalie. The goalie's old. Actually, goalie I wouldn't do. He's pretty shit. Yeah, so I would do the CM and the CF.
Like that goalie is worse than my D7 one, isn't he? Technically, right. Yeah.
Technically,
and you're paying double.
Yeah, which is something I look for every time I go through my mints. Like, why would you ever mint that guy when you can mint your D7 guy for half the price?
Yeah,
and
I recently I bought. I literally did it. Yes. Oh, this I'll show you now. I needed a like a backup right wing, so I minted Saeed. But I think I'm gonna use him as a right wing, not a right wing back.
Sure.
Because I don't have a back. I have one right wing on my secondary team, so obviously I needed a bit of help there. But he was 0.01. But he could be what, a 59 rated right winger.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, it's gonna be hard to get him there because of obviously like he's a little bit older and that's a lot of XP. But yeah, I mean, decent card. Like I have no issues with buying a card like that at all.
Like he's gonna start for me. Like he's gonna
start for you, play him for years. He's up to a 45. Maybe you outgrow him, or at least like guys like this too. Though, like this guy's in your D7 right now. All of a sudden, you use him for 2 seasons, and you run his potential up to, or you run his rating up to 45. Okay, all of a sudden he's a D5, D6 player.
This is my secret weapon.
Oh, that's a good card. How much was that?
I bought him off our good friend Bachman.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good card. Like that's
so I paid.
He's got gold potential, and like that's the thing too. Like you paid him for like his mint price, and you get to use him because that type of move I like a lot as well because you basically paid like 20% over mint, but you've already seen what's going to happen if you train that guy for 2 seasons. Like that guy's worth 0.05. Like he's worth significantly more than you paid, and you got to use him. But like that's a guy that can grow with you as you go through the divisions.
He's already. I think I've already got him up 1. He might be in. Where's he to? Oh yeah. I thought I had him in training. Or did he come as a 46? Am I bugging him?
A 46. Yeah, he's already a 46. You have to unlock more minutes from him.
Got you. Yeah. But how I must have already trained. I've already trained him up to that then.
Or you trained him to that. You bought him.
Yeah.
Either way, the point's still the same.
Yeah, that's why he's 49 because I haven't played him yet. I don't think he hasn't got into my main team.
So he doesn't need to play, but like he can use this year as a training year. Then you can maybe send him down, get him some minutes, and like work through it.
The reason I bought him is because Andrew Ryan is retiring at the end of the season, and he's just a max 46. So this Moran's going to come in as a secondary, but I think I'm going to try and train this Claudio Gonzalez up to a like 70 basically.
Sure.
And then maybe set him off as a gold because I don't really need him like at that rating in D.
Yeah, that's overkill for what you have. But if you could sell him as a gold, the issue though you'll run into is obviously like he's towards the end of his career, but like people will still pay for stuff like that. Probably more.
Yeah, 5 seasons. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Like there's still some seasons out of them.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. And then I bought did I show you the centre back I bought?
You bought a couple guys from me.
Yeah, I bought Vieira from you. This is so a young, obviously 19 centre back, but he's in training as we speak, so it'll be a little silver as we get through this training set. So he'll be could be a 72 at some point. Oh no, 66, sorry. Yeah, because that's already done, isn't it? Yeah, 12 above 54. I paid a decent. I bought like two players in one. I bought the right forward and then the centre back. I bought this guy off you.
Yeah, already training him. It seems
he's already he's almost fully trained outside of minutes. So he'll be getting a little promotion into the main team. Like this was like I've only got two seasons left of this guy, but he comes and he's like $18. Like I couldn't really say no because if I am aiming for a high position this year, and I needed a cam. Like he was what I needed. This actually, this goalie, like he's obviously almost fully maxed out, but the age is perfect.
Well,
like
scroll down. That's the exact type of player we're looking at too. Like scroll down on like how much he was paid, how much and then how much you paid, and like that goes into our discussion of like what we're doing.
Wow, look at that. So 7 months ago.
And then what did you probably pay?
I was like I bought 3. Well, I can't remember. It was like a 3D. Like I did.
Sure.
Yeah, I did the centre back, the right forward, and him.
Yeah.
He was actually for sale for like 0.03. I paid about 0.25, let's call it.
Sure.
Roughly.
So so effectively like JG Webb got
like 20
seasons out of him, and he 2.5x. So like I think there's a lot of people doing that, and I think it's a really good thing. But that goes into your other thing, which was a lot of the topic of our conversation today too, is how do you value a player when you bring them in? Burden, what's going on? How are you? And to me, I think the most logical way to do it is to look at how many seasons they have left, what is the cost, divide it, figure out how much that player is worth each season to you. Now, obviously, like you recoup the money when you sell them, you also win the prize money. And to me, I don't personally think it's fair to do it by one league. I think you have to compare all of your players in one grouping and all of your reward money in one grouping. So like I have 5 teams. It's not really fair of me that the guys that I'm training for my D1 team, their money goes towards my D7 team, because like I'm never going to return that. But like if over the course of the season I spent half an ETH worth on players and I return 0.75 ETH on players for that season, then that means I was successful and I probably made a reasonable amount. But if I also like spend 0.5 and I return 0.3, well, then there's going to be a bit of an issue there. I'm going to sort of have to figure out what I'm doing, what my pricing is. Like, do I need to sell someone to offset it type of stuff?
Yeah, that's the big thing for me is like when I'm scrolling for players on OpenSea and stuff, I'll look at how many years he's got left divided by his price, and it normally averages around, like the players I was looking at, let's just call it like your bronze level players on average, you're looking at about like, I was trying to get them into the $2 to $3 range a season. Sure. That was kind of where I was around. Like for example, I basically paid $9 a season for Lacroix because he's only alive for 2 seasons or whatever.
Well, but he's an elite level player, so like you're more willing to spend a bit more on him because he's a higher level guy.
Exactly. Yeah. That was the big thing for me. Like I remember when I was looking at these two, because these came in during this little period that we had right now where I needed some left backs and right backs, and I thought like I want guys that aren't like stupidly high for my league, but at the same time I want longevity. Like first season I bought too many guys that were just stopgaps basically, because I was brand new. I was just trying to get my feet wet and try to get a team together as quick as I can with 3 days to go. So it was one of them where like I got myself in, got promoted from D7 to D6, and then you go, oh, hang on a minute, I need a bit of longevity here. I need guys who are going to be around for at least 8 years at least. Season. So yeah, that's my thought process, trying to get guys that have about $2 to $3, maybe $4 a season, if we're talking like these type of bronze guys. I don't know what it looks like if you're looking at younger silver guys. I'm sure the amount per season increases. Same for gold. Like is that kind of the like equations you're doing at the higher levels as well?
Yeah, so I guess like I haven't been as strict with this and I haven't fully broken stuff down yet, because part of me is like, we're still in the time frame in which you have your original mints, which like makes it a bit trickier to like guesstimate on prices and stuff. And we're also like still in a window where most every rare that was ever minted, not like some at the top, but like people are still funneling them into higher levels. So like a big thing for me right now is it's difficult to understand exactly where my teams are going to be in terms of competition level at D1, D2, D3 to sort of gauge what is reasonable, because people aren't maxed out yet. So like people really don't have a lot of their guys that are like near the top end of their range. Everyone's still in a cycle. Once we get another couple years in, we're going to be like at a close to complete portion of a cycle where I'm going to be able to have an idea. Because like I think the biggest issue for me right now is like if I have a 75 player, that is a D1 caliber player, high level D2. What is that going to be in 3 seasons or 4 seasons? Am I going to need him to be an 80 level player? So like a lot of it for me right now is like I can't really tell what you're going to need to compete at the D1, D2, D3 level, like what type of player. So for that reason, I don't know what I should be paying for these guys currently. Like I'm still in a trial process of like, do I think this guy is going to be able to compete in 7 seasons when he's maxed out as a 28-year-old? Like, is he that guy that's going to be in a D1 team? Is he going to be in a D2 team? Because he's like, oh, this guy's not good enough. He's going to be in a D5 team. All right, well, that's going to significantly change what I think I can pay for him.
Mm-hmm. How long have they been minting legendaries? Has it been since season dot or like day 1 or no?
I think it's been since season 1. I don't think it was since like season 0, but I could be wrong on that. But like the legendaries, some of the legendaries are maxed out, but like a lot of the rares, like I'm not a great example because I mean, maybe I don't have as much ability to train. Like Bachman's probably a better example because like he has more of an ability to like also like at the beginning, the training changed from what it is now to what it was in season 1. Because you used to just pound the shit out of someone and play them every minute of the season, even at 20 XP. Now you can't do that. You'd probably be capped at getting the minutes. So because of that, like I could get 22 games worth of full minutes. Now you probably can only get 16, 17 games because they're going to pick up an injury or 2.
Right. Yeah.
It makes it a bit different. So like if I look at Bachman's top team, like he has a rare who is 30. Some of his rares are like 30. And they've maxed out or like are very close to maxing out, like in the 29 range and are close to maxing out. Mm-hmm. So we're getting to the range where like some of these rares are starting to max out, but like my best rare, like let me see, my best rare is, I know who it is. I just got to see what his rating is. My guess is he's like 70. So my best rare is a fullback, and he's a 68 overall, 23-year-old. So, like, those rares that I think Bachman got were, like, I don't even know who the hell they are. They're older. But, like, so my guy, like, I have used 17 potential on him, has 19 left, has 7 open. Like, this guy's not going to be close to maxing out, probably even by the end of his career. But, so, like, to me, the cycle, like, just isn't close enough to being complete yet to sort of understand, like, where guys can compete at and whatnot.
And how much of their potential they can actually reach.
Correct. Because like one thing I've thought from the beginning is a high level silver that starts at like a 68 is way better than a rare that starts at like a 52. Because it's going to be so hard for me to get that rare to up there, and like that silver just starts at a 60. I think I had a silver, so I have a silver. This is my best silver. He is 21. He is currently a 75, and I can max him out at an 87. That's better than what a rare was, because the rares start like a 54 max. Like I think 54 is like the max starting point. I could be wrong, but like this guy started as a 64. So like a 64 silver that maxes to an 87. I'd much rather that over a 54 rare that maxes at an 87, because it takes me so much longer to get an extra 10 training in.
So the whole like selling point of a rare, the fact that it has so much potential, or can you even get there is obviously what we're saying here. Like you'd rather the guaranteed rating. Basically,
I want the start. Well, you got to think too. The start, like let's say with a rare. Let's say I get a 54 rare and you get a 64 silver. Right. And let's say I train my rare 4 times a season. You train your silver twice a season.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take you a shit long time. It takes you 10 seasons to even it.
Right.
10 seasons.
Yeah.
So at that point, the first 10 seasons of my guy's silver career, all 10 of them, my guy's better than your guy at the same spot. Now, at the back end, the last like 3 or 4 years, you're going to beat my guy by a little bit. But I get 10 seasons of additional like being better than your 5, which I'd rather have that.
For sure. Vernon says he's in a similar boat to you, Sean. Hard to gauge where the competition level will shake out. Even up in D2, there's a massive disparity in
100%.
quality.
The D2 this season is super weird. I think there's 4 elite level teams, there's 4 mid-tier teams, then there's like 1 or 2 okay, not good teams, and then there's like 2 or 3 ghosts. And it's like, but like the top teams are like, that's not really a D2 team, it's a D1 team.
D1, yeah.
But like then that team that gets relegated is going to be like a D2 team. So like all of a sudden, like in 7 years is like D2 just like 80 plus guys, and if you have a 75, like he can't play. Because if that's the case, then like I really got to sort of guesstimate what level I can play my guy at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is the tough thing to gauge, isn't it? Salah, yeah, the Paslich giveaway did happen, mate. Yeah, we gave that card away on Friday before the deadline. But yeah, nice. It is interesting. It's very interesting to see where it all shakes out. When do you think this? You said a couple of seasons. What do you think it'll be? 3, 4 seasons?
Yeah, if I had to guess when I'm comfortable with thinking a cycle's down, let me see real quick. Because I think it's like when these guys start to max out that you got. Like like let's say like original level mints that were like first season mints of a player. And I think that 3 to 5 seasons probably. Like I'll start. I'm looking at my team right now. Like I'll start having 26, 27-year-old guys that I minted in like season 1.
Right. Yeah.
And so like to me, that's when like the original cycle sort of stops and like the new cycle sort of begins. And like at least when that one ends, you'll have a bit of an idea of where everyone is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't think any answer is perfect. Like I think there's a lot of interpretation. What I will say is like you can't spend a lot on guys and plop them in D7 for their entire career. Like you're never paying that off.
Got you. Yeah.
But if you buy a guy and you plop him in D7 for 2 seasons, well, you build up his fitness, then move him to his D3. That's plenty good enough.
Mm-hmm. Just looking at some of these sales here. What's that? 70 rated AM, 29 though for 144. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. 80 rated DM, 22 years old, has 6 slots, I guess.
Yep. So it can get up to an 86.
86. He probably gets there at what, 25? So you've got
like this dude compared to a rare, this dude's going to be maxed out at 23. A rare's maybe going to max out at 90 or at 87 at like their 31 year age range. This guy maxed out as his 23 age range.
Right.
Like that card is a better card than a rare to me.
And in fairness, he is going for point. Like that is a good price. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been trained up to that though, right? He came as what? Let's just call it a 16-year-old 61 rated?
Yep, 16-year-old 61 rated.
Got you. Huh.
Like, that to me is just like a better card than a rare outright.
Wait, isn't that Bachman's team?
Yeah, that the person that bought it was Bachman. Same with the guy above.
Right. Okay. Huh. Let's check what he was minted for. Okay. 9 months ago.
So that might have been D1 mint. There's a good possibility that was a D1 mint. Because pricing has changed, and I don't think a silver would have been that good. So that was probably a D1 mint at the time. But yeah, so like that dude got like 8 seasons of use out of him, then or like 5 seasons of use out of him, and then like sold him for that
6x or whatever. Yeah. What's this? Center mid, great position. 24, 6 seasons left. So he's a 76 max. And he went for basically half of.
Yeah, but like click on him and see what his mint was. His mint was probably around the same. So like there's definite money to be made.
Airdrop.
It was an airdrop. Okay. So that was the original card. That was an original player.
That's fun. 29-year-old AM. So people are paying like, that's like $50 a season there, right? For him, roughly. Yeah. Right forward.
And position matters because like right forward is not a very coveted position.
Right. Goalkeeper, yeah.
Goalkeeper is a bit more coveted. And again, like you have 7 seasons, so like that costs $380. 7 seasons, all of a sudden $50 a season there too. So like it's kind of like $50 a season, at least for some of them. Like obviously a bit less as you go down, or a bit more as you go up.
That's $70 a season there for this guy, right? 1 season.
Yep.
That's wild.
That's a bit more.
Yeah, but 28, 29-year-old centre mid. Okay. 72, 90. Oh, no, yeah, you got 2 seasons out of him. 2 seasons out of this guy.
Seems like it's around $50 or so a person. It's range was like 25 and 75.
Yeah. So
like
if I get
Ono guy was good, yeah. But like, that seems like a great deal. You're getting $325 for 7 seasons at a massive position of need for everyone.
Yeah.
So like that seems nice.
Perfect position. He's quite comparable to my guy. So my guy's what, 27, 68 rated or whatever. Right?
Yep.
So like in 2 seasons, my guy's going to be, I think he could go to like was it 69? No, was it 69?
I think it was 71.
71.
I could be wrong.
It was something like that, wasn't it? And they paid 100. Well, yeah, 100. I paid about 0.06 for my guy, roughly, because I bought a club and I bought the silver. 72. Yeah, 72 max rating. So he would be like a little bit better rated than that guy and the same age, basically, right? At 29. Yeah. Let's just call it. So I could probably sell him for what I got, maybe a bit more effectively. Yeah.
Well, like, I mean, each season of utility you get out of him helps too, because like you then sell it. Oh no, my D4 team just committed a penalty.
No.
I know. I think I'm playing the best team in the league. I really need to win as well, so not ideal. And I scored. Unfortunate. Not a good start.
Have you had your goalkeeper score a goal yet? Because I have.
I think so, but I'm not positive. Let me see if I can. I vaguely remember that, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Like, surely that shouldn't be happening, no?
Well, they said it's just kind of like a little glitch. Like, whatever. It's not a big deal to me. Because, like, your goal is likely to score as my goal. It's not like it happens all the time.
No, yeah, you're right. It is interesting. Yeah, it's like as soon as you get a gauge on like how you are happy to price card players and stuff, like the game does become a bit more fun. You know, like you can kind of do that whole calculation in your head and stuff. I do enjoy that.
Well, there's definitely paths, which we've already gone over today. Like there are paths to getting guys, building up their rating, and then selling them for more than you paid, and like that's a good sign. Like, and I do think it's even valid because like you're taking the work out of it. Like you're completing the training for someone, they're buying the guy at a higher level. Like it isn't really that much different than real life, right?
No.
Like,
no, you're right. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna mint goalkeeper Larry and Tommaso, right?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely need the centre back will definitely start getting minutes straight away. Get him into a centre mid. Because right now I'm just training all my centre mids. Yeah, okay, that's fun. That is fun.
Well, and also I think it's still I scored 1-1. It's currently like you also, I think we're still in that window, so you can move guys up and down if you want to right now.
Okay.
I think we're in the limited window still. I think it ends tomorrow. Could be wrong on that, so don't quote me.
Remember when I bought that? Remember when I sold my first club and bought the second one to train that Ray I got? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Reading United, like the team I used to.
Was it?
Yeah, I recognize the name.
That's pretty funny.
I know. Yeah, I wonder who has that rare now. Oh, well, right. I think we'll call it a day there. I've got a few bits to get on with. That was fun. I like it how it timed straight into you having a game. Obviously, you mostly all your games are 12 now, right, for this season?
Yeah, 12. So the leagues I'm taking seriously are 12, 1, and 3. Those are the times.
Mine are like 10 and 4. It's kind of a nightmare.
All over the place, yeah.
Yeah, I don't play the 4 one though. I just let it ride because it's training basically.
Yeah, I'll if I'm around, I will check stuff and make subs. If I'm not, like, my one team is just like a throwaway team that I don't check at all until like after the games are over. But like, also, like, if I'm playing like a ghost and I don't really need to check, then I won't check.
100%. That was fun. We'll do same time next week then. Baby permitting. But yeah, it was a pleasure, mate. Appreciate you joining me again. We'll be back next week, like I said. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. And yeah, appreciate you all. Have a great day.